Hello? Is it me you're looking for? Hello? Is it me you're looking for? Okay, here we go. The volume is finally working. Dang it. How to plug that in? Man, it's been a pain in the ass setting this thing up. A real pain. A royal pain. Bro, come on. Clear that. I'm a noob here. It's the first time streaming on YouTube, and I'm struggling. And can you guys hear me? Hello, hello? Can you guys hear me? Hello, hello? Okay, I can hear. I'm talking to myself. I'm going crazy. I'm going crazy. Is it delayed? Oh, it's pretty delayed. Okay, so what am I doing? What am I doing? Sketching out kobold creatures, and I made these. Oh, it's not upside down this time. I streamed earlier today, and it was upside down, so I had to turn it off and delete it. So I sketched these. What? Oh my gosh, 2014. I sketched these guys. And those are like my version of kobolds, which are more lizard-like. And then they're also more authentic to the original design from the monster manual. I just sort of emphasize their faces a little more. Actually, they have two different versions in the Dungeons and Dragons monster manual. I think the first kobold was more like goblin-like, and the second version, which is the one here, was more lizard-like, which I really liked a lot. So I went with the lizard version. And these guys are not very tall. They're probably about, I don't know, 3 feet tall. If you ever encounter them out in the wild or wandering around caverns. And yeah, so this is what they look like. I have this as reference because I'm going to sketch some out. And why am I sketching some out? Well, because I'm planning to make a painting with these guys. Inside here I have, where'd it go? Okay. So I'm planning to make a painting of these kobolds as if like there's kobold ruins that were built by kobolds in ancient times, or maybe in the time of whatever time D&D is. And this is sort of like one of the ruins. And I sketched this on my 5x7 sketch paper. And basically I'm going to have this over here. I only did one, I don't have to do both of them. And then we have this giant pillar in the middle. I'm going to have the kobolds down here dancing around their stone god. And of course it looks like them, you know, it looks like a kobold. There's a little bit of Aztec design back there. And they have the doors here where they close them when they have like feasts or dances or whatever. And here is a this is for my reference, sort of like a more a front view of the pillar in the middle. And then here's another reference for myself. And this is it's a front view of what I just showed you earlier. The one I showed you was a top-down view where you saw like the whole area. So this is just a front view for myself, so I know what it looks like. Of course, I'm gonna get rid of these little designs here. It's too much. I don't like that. But this is what I do when I do my sketches, my thumbnails. This is a sketch thumbnail. I try different things. I put these little like Aztecs symbols, which is a type of language, I think. But I don't like it. It doesn't need it. I mean, there's enough detail over here and here, so I'll just get rid of these. And I think that's it. Yeah, I don't think I'll have anything else for the kobolds. So imagining looking at that, I'm bringing it up again so I can see for myself. There it is. So yeah, so I have to imagine these kobolds dancing around this thing here. So I'm gonna sketch maybe one or two kobolds in this piece of paper here. Sketch them around dancing around this pillar. By the way, you have no idea how long it took me to set this up, this darn stream. Like an hour. I was missing cables. I couldn't find the certain cables. I had to go look through my house as to where I put these things, because I don't stream art. I mean, because it's a hassle to set everything up. So it took me an hour to set this whole thing up. But now that it's all set up, it'll be faster next time when I stream. At least that's the hope. So back to the little kobolds. They're going to be walking in circles around the pillar. I'll be walking left to right. So my idea is to the head. Let me zoom in here. Maybe too far away. I zoomed in too much. I'm not gonna move the damn camera around. This is a hassle. Come on! Damn it, it's too tight. Hold on. And this is why I just don't stream art. It's just a hassle to get things to line up right. Just annoying. Put my phone away. So this is top down. 3/4 view, and I gotta sort of imagine what their bodies are doing. So these guys are maybe, this is like the body, torso, and shoulder line, right? Shoulder there, and maybe we have hold on. I gotta get my perspective right. I know it's just the beginning, but I still have to get the perspective right. Because we're looking down at these guys. So maybe their snouts are over here. Okay, we're not gonna deal with that right now. But bodies are here. maybe one arm's here, hand, right? And then one of the legs is here, maybe kicking forward. Because I gotta get this is just a preliminary sketch idea. I have to get the legs properly how it's in my sketch, and then maybe that's the other arm, and then so this one's legs maybe forward, maybe this leg is going back that way. So like they're dancing. And now, I have to look at the kobold legs are a little different. So, this would go this way, and that way. This is I start to get the anatomy of the legs. Like that. I wonder if the leg looks too long though. It have to be foreshortened. So like this. Something like that. It looks odd right now. But that's okay. Then we have the chest here. Chest, shoulders. They really don't have much of gear, just like shoulder pads. That was pretty much without any clothing. Their arms are like normal looking. And let's see here. This is the head. Nostrils. And this guy's mouth shut. Then their ears sort of hang back. They don't have their ears they don't like perk up. I mean they could, but most of the time their ears is hanging down. And why? Because that's how I made them. This is my version of the kobolds. By the way, I haven't sketched in months, so I'm very, very crusty. Very crusty. I mean, beyond crusty. I can feel it in my hands, they're stiff. When you haven't sketched in a while, your hands like feel very stiff. And you're sort of happy because, you know, it's a feast day or whatever, I don't know. Like that, and then this top of the head will have some spikes up there. Zoom in a little bit, it seems to be kind of far. Oops. I'm the worst cameraman. Like I said, I don't stream art and my camera sucks. I have an old camera. I guess as far as I could zoom in, because if I zoom in more, look at that. That's what happens. It gets blurry. Alright, back to the kobold guy. So they have sort of like longish necks. So I'll just have a little, somewhat of a neck here. Now all these things I did at the beginning are placeholder. Okay, nothing here is set in stone. Anything here can change anytime if I see fit to change it. So don't think that every artist in the world draws like the most perfect image every time. It's not realistic. Sometimes it takes a few tries to get it right. Sometimes you do one on the first try, which is pretty rare. So here's the neck, and that means I have to lower the chest area, which is just fine. And we'll erase the original chest. But we had to start with something. So this is the shoulder here, which means the other shoulder's over here. Which means I have to adjust the arm. The arm has to come over here. There. And then okay, so I got the chest. They have these this armor piece here. And I don't think I put all the details. They have a bunch of little details. But let's get this started. I think I remember we started looking at them top down. So I have to get that perspective right. So this leg seems too long, but keep it there for now. If I have to shrink it, I'll shrink it later. So there's one there. And I think the other leg, I just don't like the way it is. I'm going to say goodbye, leg. Don't like you. So the hip, there's a hip one here, the other hip one's over here. And maybe this leg is like this. There we go, with the claws, right? Maybe this one has to be more down, see? Now I start making adjustments. I don't like this leg. And that's why I do small sketches like this for my paintings before I actually throw on canvas, because there's always a lot of changes sometimes. Now I do the changes here on paper and not on canvas. I gotta make sure I overlap. This overlaps that. That overlaps that. They have a tail. Put a little curve back here. Then I can sort of erase some of this info here. Maybe I can have this leg come forward like that. And I mean, these guys are not very muscly. They're sort of like slender creatures. Like that. believe these are, there's straps on these things. And I can make this like that. I'll erase this here. And I think I probably have to foreshorten this some more. Like that. I may have to move this arm, maybe. I'm not so sure. I think I have to move it. Just don't like the fact that how it falls right now. Just don't like that at all. I have some gear. I need to emphasize this, make it really round. Like that. You only have 2 toes. 1, 2. And that's the other toe over there. Now, if I could probably give them sticks or something. I haven't really thought about it. I believe they also have some gear here. I make circles for hands. It's just so easy. I can always put fingers. But I like to simplify my life. Simplifying art is beautiful. Like that, and maybe has a stick in this one. This hand. Maybe they dance with spears. I don't know. Something like that. Top of the shoulder armor. And it does have spikes here and here. They just have a lot of little spikes on their face too. And their eyebrows too. They have a lot of little spikes. Anyways, I'm just doing extra details, but details are fun. Details are fun. And of course they have their spikes back there. They do have a belt. Just make it dark. And they have scales. And this should be in darkness. But because they're dancing around the pillar with fire, their shadows are going to be long. So basically it'd be like make sure it shows up here. Their shadows would be lengthened like this. I guess I already imagine this. Something like this. So we got 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. This goes this way. This goes this way. We'll erase some of this. The tail curves, so maybe their tail's like something like that. And it's gonna just go off to show their shadow, their long shadows. I'm just trying to smoke around. Maybe some rocks or something. So this would be like one kobold, and of course we'll see the top of his hand. And the spear would go top right there. How many fingers they got? Let's see here. They got 3 fingers. So they got 1, 2, something like that. And then this could be just in a fist. Just like that. And then this side of the body would probably be in shadow, obviously, because the light's coming from the other side. And what? Wow, commercial. Well, look at that. It's a commercial playing on my stream. Now I'm sort of working out some lighting, you know, just for fun. So this is how I do my sketching. And if I like this pose, which I do, I can print it out and project it on my canvas, and I just trace it over it. It's just so much faster to project art onto canvas, because I could actually redraw this again, but why? Why? You know, work smarter, not harder. So back again, if you can imagine this guy. Here we go. He's like, you know, walking around this pillar. Oh, hold on, let me zoom out. Dang it. Now I gotta zoom out. See? Is that let's zoom out some more. Jeez, I really gotta zoom out a lot. So imagine this guy dancing around this pillar. Of course he'd be smaller. He's too big right here. So that's the idea that I have. I want to have, I don't know, like 4 or 5 guys dancing, in a circle around this thing. What the hell? Some homeless person is yelling. It's horrible. So there's this. Okay, there's this church near my house, probably about a block away. And when we moved to this neighborhood 20 years ago, we hardly saw any homeless people. We saw 1 or 2, but they were cool people. They sort of like worked for businesses and cleaned up whatever. They didn't cause any trouble. But then this church got smart, and they said, well, what if we help the homeless people and they can stay at our church, but they subsidize. The government gives them money. The government gives this church owner guy money for each person that goes there, I guess. Because otherwise I don't think he would be doing it for free. So because they're trying to do a good thing and take care of the homeless people, well, here's the deal. There's all kinds of homeless people. There are normal ones, there are drug addicts, there are psychopaths. So this church has been attracting all of them. The good ones and the nuts and the drug addicts. So sadly enough, they've been breaking into cars. They're just sleeping in people's neighborhoods, cussing, yelling, you name it, man. It really sucks. It was never like that when we bought the house here 20 years ago. But because this church decides to do something good, it also turns into something bad for us. And the owner of the church, because he lives in this freaking mansion, like 25 minutes away from us. He lives in a nice big house. Of course, he doesn't have to deal with them. You don't have to deal with the homeless. He's far away from them. But we do. We have to deal with them here, so we have to call the police and stuff. Every once in a while, you can hear me yelling their lungs out. This is one woman who just goes nuts, starts cussing up a storm. And it's been crazy. I even saw a woman, I live like in a cul-de-sac, a very private street. I go out of my street, and there's a stop sign. And I look to my left because there's a woman there. And I'm like, okay, it's another homeless person. I didn't think much of it. But she was just standing around the corner looking around. I'm like, she's sort of like lost or something. Anyways, I gotta go somewhere, so I'm looking at the traffic coming up, make sure there's enough room for me to make a right turn. So as I make the right turn, she starts pull her pants down. And I'm like, what in the heck? So I'm driving away, and I look in my rearview mirror, and there she is, taking a crap. The corner of our street, and I have a neighbor who lives right there in that corner. And I was like, these people are so disgusting. Anyway, sorry, I was ranting on with the homeless. They just need help. Anyway, so yeah, this is the sketch, one of the sketches I did for the Kobold. And I hope you guys like it, and maybe one of you guys will watch this video. You guys have a wonderful evening. I'm going to shut this thing down. By the way, these are really good tools. I'll show you. It's a good brush here. This is like... Of course, I don't really use it. I usually use my hand, but sometimes I'll have to use this. Then you need one of these. Stadler Mars plastic. These are great for erasing large areas. And then I got this awesome click eraser. I got all this stuff from Blick. Actually, yeah, Blick.com. This is a click eraser. It's very useful. I love this thing because it's very thin. You can erase thin parts. And of course, I got my little, I'll call them technical pencils. These right here. These are called what are they called? Gosh, they erased the name. I use it so often. Draft-O-Matic. 0.9 millimeter lead. I use 0.9 only. Years ago in high school, I used to use 0.5, but guess what? Those things snap all the time. Then I moved on to 0.7, and those also snap. I have a heavy hand, so. And finally said, let's try 0.9, and this has been perfect. 0.9 is perfect. It doesn't really snap unless I smack this thing down, but They're great pencils, and they're made of. These are top quality pencils. They have metal casing and everything. Um, yeah, so it's pretty cool. So, anyways, yeah, I was gonna share my tools and stuff. But I want to thank all of you guys. If you're even here watching, thank you. And those who watch my stream later, thank you for that too.